Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this webinar about HeyConnect. I'm really excited to present Lynn here from HeyConnect and talk to you a little bit about the integration and why we've partnered up with Hey, and sort of touch on what they're providing, because I think it's a really valuable addition to Tidy and a valuable addition to yourselves with how you're running organizations. So I'm Isaak Dury. I'm the CEO and founder of Tidy. So we've been at this for over a decade now. It came from sitting on a bunch of committees and feeling the pain firsthand of running these organizations, wrestling and wrangling with volunteers and trying to work with all their members. So I genuinely feel some of the pain firsthand. And over the last decade of building this platform, we've really focused on the administration side of it. Obviously, communication and collaboration with administrators. You may know that about 7 years ago or so, we built our own application to try and work out messaging with members. And we decided that it was stretching us that little bit too far. And so we hit pause on that with the idea that we would integrate with other tools that are doing that job. We've looked at many integrations over the years or possible partnerships with groups that were focused on this problem. But I think Lynn and the team at Hey have really started to hit it on the head. And they've built a solution to communicate for administrators, specifically for community organizations. So, volunteer-led type organizations with lots of members. And we've been working with them over the last 6 months, plus perhaps now, um, with respect to how it could work really nicely with Tidy, how it can sync up with your existing contact groups, and how it can work really nicely both for your administration team, but also for your members as well. I think it's a really hard problem in many ways, trying to get, as you'd all know, how to get volunteers on the same page and make sure that they're understanding of what events are coming up and what discussions are being had and are relevant to them. We think a lot about the signal to noise ratio. There's a lot of noise out in the world. It's only compounding year on year, um, with how much noise we're wrestling with to get to the signal. So that is, I join an organization, um, and I just want the signal. I want to know where to go, when to go, how to buy tickets, whatever it might be. And I'm fighting in amongst all the noise of the modern day era, noise from my social media channels and various instant messaging groups. And I'm sure you, like I, have felt the pain in, say, a WhatsApp group and things like that, where it's just a flood of messages, that it's really hard to understand what's relevant to me in my organization, and what's it, is it related to an event that we're going to, what do I need to do, those sorts of things. It's a really, really hard problem. And it's something that Lynn and the team at Hey have been going on for. Lynn, I'd like to introduce. She's originally from the UK, but has been in the US for a while, so has a funny accent, but has worked in Australia with Atlassian for quite a while, which I'm sure she'll touch on a bit of her history with it. And Lynn, I'd love you to run through a bit of the background of Hey and how it can work for Tidy customers.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Isaac. Really appreciate that. And welcome, everyone. Super excited to be here. I'm going to I'll give you a little background on myself. I'll walk you through a few slides and then I'll give you a quick demo of the app and then we'll get into Q&A. So as Isaac mentioned, I'm from the UK, grew up there and came to the States after uni and had a career here in the San Francisco Bay Area, working at tech companies like Apple and Adobe. And yeah, my last stop was Atlassian, and had the joy of spending a lot of time in Australia, in particular Sydney, which I just fell in love with. Just felt like a great combination of British culture and California weather. So you guys have got it made over there. We don't have the same humor here in California. Anyway, while I was working at Atlassian, I'm a pretty sociable person, a member of lots of women's networking groups and I don't know, tennis and pickleball and book clubs, stuff like that. And I was just struggling. I saw that how everybody was struggling with communication. I actually wasn't leading most of these groups. I was participating in a lot of them. But the communication of organizing all of these events and groups was primarily through email or text or sometimes WhatsApp. And I just found myself going through long strings of chat to find out, where was the event? Who's going? Did I say I was going? I just felt like there must be a better way. After working in tech for so long, where there's this incredible focus on streamlining processes and creating great user interfaces, I just felt like we needed something that was kind of like WhatsApp plus events or chat plus events, something kind of simple and fun and easy to use. And I should mention that I actually don't like social media. I'm not a user of Facebook and Instagram and everything else just because lack of privacy. And I feel like there's a lot of toxic, polarized content. So just that as a little context. Anyway, so then we created Hey Group, as it was called then. We hired a couple of college kids, so our app happened to take off pretty quickly in the US college campus scene, where they were struggling with similar challenges that I had locally here. Talking with students, we saw that there was actually a bigger opportunity to expand our solution to a broader club or community where there were actually lots of groups, because lots of these students were in groups or clubs where there were lots of groups. And just thought it would be great to expand our app, which was very group-based then, to being more community-based, where you had lots of groups, you could have a member directory, etc. But we didn't have the ability to support, hundreds of members in a community because we really were a mobile app. And that's when we started chatting with Isaak. We saw Tidy as really just an excellent solution for club administrators with all of its, as you know, amazing features around memberships, finances, websites, everything. And we thought that Hey would just be a really good natural extension, providing a community platform, really enabling organizers to create a higher level of engagement for their members. So we're really excited to share with you what we've built and to get your feedback on it, more importantly. But we're excited to work with you to figure out how to bring your members together and to get more activity going on in your clubs. So with that, I'm going to just jump into a few slides here. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold, so. What we really care about at Hey is to really empower organizers to build trusted, engaged communities. We think it's super important for members to feel a sense of belonging. And this really only happens when leaders have the tools to schedule and communicate events and when members can easily find them. So that's why we are super excited about a partnership with Tidy, because together we really bring what I believe is a unique solution, providing value to both the club administrators for the administration side of the clubs, and Hey to provide that engagement to club members. So talking to all of the people using our app, these are a few highlights of the challenges we see that clubs face today. One, let me know if you disagree with any of this. You're free to jump in. Most emails go unread, especially with younger people. They're just not reading emails like they used to. So it makes it really hard for you to promote your events and create awareness around renewals, et cetera, because emails are not getting read. Members, they don't trust all of these apps that maybe some of you are using. I certainly don't trust them, but just issues with data privacy and trust. And then I found myself in these group chats with like 20, 30 people in them, and it would just be a long list of phone numbers. I didn't even know who else was in there. They're just phone numbers. And then I also am sharing my phone number, which I might not want to do. So just not a great situation at all. Member experience is disjointed again, scattered across lots of different apps, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, text. Just makes it hard. Admins have to post their events and activities and deadlines in multiple places. And, it's really hard for members to know where to go to find everything. Administrators find it really hard to reconcile memberships and just really see what's going on in your clubs because it's scattered in so many different places. So this creates a lot more work for you, having to figure out, well, are there separate WhatsApp groups that you should be in? Are there events being created that you don't know about? Just having everything in multiple places, it's really hard for you to have an eye into everything going in on your club. And then you also have a lack of visibility into what's going on because it's so scattered. With everything in so many different places, it's hard to know which members are engaged, which events are popular, which groups are getting together on a regular basis. So just very limited insights into the activities in your clubs. So the benefits of adding Hey, we provide a single private mobile hub for everything that you need for your club. So unlimited groups, every community has multiple groups. You've got your committee, you got your volunteer group, you've probably got a social organization group, you've got events, you'd probably like a member directory. That's what we provide, chat, and we provide a feed of all of the activity across your club and all of the groups that you're part of in a single feed. And with our app, users can set up their notifications however they want. We provide notifications through email, through text, or you can have an in-app notification. So super flexible. So all of those things together will allow you to increase member engagement. We allow you to communicate efficiently on mobile. Let's face it, that's where everybody is. So that's where we need to be too. So you can promote all of your groups and events and messages through our app on your members' mobile phones. It just makes it a whole lot easier. You can save time on administrative tasks because we actually sync the data between Hey and Tidy. So if you've got members in Tidy, you can push them to Hey. If you add a member in Hey, then they get pushed back into Tidy. So you can see who's in the app. And then you can then run a report and see if they're a member. And if they're not, you could reach out and try to encourage them to become a member, just for example. You can also sync groups. You can look at your groups in Tidy and decide which ones you want to publish to Hey, and all groups that you create in Hey will get pushed back to Tidy. So we're making that easy for you, having everything all in one place. And then we help you get organized by allowing you to create multiple groups or teams all on one platform that you have visibility into. So again, it could be volunteer groups, committee groups, whatever. Each of those groups can have their own admin, I should add. And so you don't have to be responsible for leading and managing those groups. You can delegate that to somebody else. And each of those groups has their own private events and chat and activity feeds. So groups can be public or private. You could create a committee and just invite people in the committee and no one else can see that group. You can make a public group where people can scroll through your groups and decide which ones they want to join. So we support both, but they allow you to become a lot more organized. Finally, adding a mobile app like Hey will allow you to increase club revenue in a number of ways. First of all, you'll be able to track more sponsorships because you'll have all of your club activity in one centralized place. So this provides great exposure, continuous exposure for sponsors and greater impact for them. You'll be able to increase donations. There was a nonprofit survey that states that members who feel a strong connection to an organization or a strong connection to another member are actually 50% more likely to donate. I'm happy to share that research study if anybody's interested. But obviously, creating a community where your members are chatting and posting events and pictures, they're going to feel a lot more sense of connection to the organization and to other members. You can increase your renewals. MGI says the number one best practice to increase renewals is to increase member engagement. And it literally says, I'm not making this up, with an online community, member directory, posts, blogs, and surveys. Just happens those are all the things we provide. So you can also leverage reporting to find out which members in your community maybe have not been engaged. So you can reach out proactively to make sure they're going to renew their membership. So just a few ways to increase your membership renewals, which I know is super important to many of you. And then finally, you can increase memberships, because if you've got a buzzing hub of a community, you can guarantee everyone else is going to join your community. And also, active members are much more likely to refer new members. So all of those things together should allow you to really increase revenue for your club. And we know we're all working with a shoestring. So I know any incremental revenue is super important to all of you. Just going to walk you through how Hey and Tidy work together. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on TidyHQ because you're all very familiar with that and all the wonderful things it does to help you administer your clubs. Adding a mobile app on Hey will add, like I mentioned, a feed, a directory, posts, groups, notifications, and that engagement data that we will feed back to TidyHQ for you to report on. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of HeyConnect so you can actually see those features for yourself. So I just want to point out at the beginning of the video, it shows you really quickly how to connect Hey to Tidy. And it does require that you're logged into Tidy on your mobile phone before you connect the two, but you'll see that here. Let me just share. If you have any questions after this, we can certainly give you another demo. We'll walk you through and give you whatever help you need to get set up. All right, so let's start at the beginning here. We're at the end. So when you download our app from the App Store, it will look like this. You'll see a welcome message, and then you can click in the top left, and it will show you, it will provide you the opportunity to connect it to Tidy. That plus add community there will connect it to your Tidy community. I've already connected a custom club here. These are the groups that I'm a member of in this club, which is a Tidy org. This is one of the groups, which is an e-board, and you can see the members. You can see that there's chat, and the chat is just for the group, and the events that are just for the group. I can respond if I'm going. I can add comments that I might be late, and everybody in that group can see those. Easy to add other members to the group. There's the directory. You can just pick people and add them. Now, if I'm a new member to the club, I might not have any groups that I'm part of yet. I can scroll through. These are all of the groups that are public to the community or to your club, and I can read about them and join them. If I want to create my own group, maybe a social group or something that doesn't exist yet, I can click that button. It's 2 steps to create a group. And again, that group will get pushed back into Tidy. Here's our homepage, which is a feed, and it's just a feed of any posts. So all of your events, your fundraisers, welcome messages of new people, all your events from Tidy and Hey will all be in here. And it's a great feed to keep everybody on the same page. Here's a list of events, and these are events for the community and events across the clubs, the groups I'm in, and also you can see there the Get Ticket. That's an event from Tidy. If I click on that, it will take me to Tidy to buy a ticket. And I can get a week view, a month view, and where the dots are, that's where the events are. I can respond to any of these. I can create my own event. It's really simple. I pick which group that event is for and just give it a name. And I can pick a different picture if I want. If not, we default one for you, and pick a time. And there you can see you can have a few other options, min, max number of people. You can have a wait list. And then basically everybody in that group that this event is for will get invited to that event. And I'll be able to track who's going and track all of the responses here. So finally, we have chat. Chat is embedded in our app, and we create a chat for every group. And all of the members of the group are part of that chat. You can create an event chat for people going, and you can just direct message anybody in your club. You can just search for them or pick them, and you don't need to know their phone number or the email. And all your chat with any members of the club is all here together in one place. So that's the demo. Just go back.
Nice work, Lynn. We've got a few questions. Maybe it's a good time to just answer a few
Yeah,
of them.
sure.
Should we
Yeah,
wait to the end?
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so um, we'll go over a question from Susan about going over how to connect Tidy account with the Hey system. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you download the Hey app. You're already logged into Tidy on your mobile phone just through the browser. And
Yeah.
then when you open up the Hey app, you connect or add a new community, which will then take you over to Tidy, where you authorize Hey to connect to your Tidy account. You need to be an administrator of your Tidy account. So none of your members can do this. You have to be an administrator
Yeah.
with the right permissions to connect the two platforms. And then things will start syncing across
Yeah.
accordingly. In Tidy, you can work out which of your contact groups you want to sync over to Hey, because we know many of you have, some of you have hundreds of contact groups in Tidy. We don't want you to sync all 100. Maybe there's just the current 5 that you want to sync across. You can select those 5, sync those across, and then your public events will sync across as well. So it's all done
You
sort of
got it.
automatically. Good, I have been
Yeah. Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, well done. And we do have all the details on our website and HeyConnect.app getting started with little videos to really help you walk through that. Obviously it probably takes you 5 or 10 minutes. I think the most important thing is just making sure, you kind of have a plan to deploy it. And maybe you want to start with just a committee or a smaller group and get them on it and used to it and, learning about it. And then you can deploy it to everybody else in your club. But actually doing the connection is super simple, and that is all on our website. And I'm happy to walk you through that as well, if that's helpful.
Yeah, great. Another question from Kristen. Um, there's some great features in addition to Tidy, which I really like, which you've touched on already, but the member directory, contact groups have admins within the contact groups. Um, and there's a different sort of an event. So some of you, if you've been around with Tidy for a while, we used to have a thing called sessions, which was a lighter version of an event to just, if you're turning up for a training session or something that doesn't need the formality of event tickets. Um, Hey also provides events, which are sort of a softer version of our Tidy events tooling as well. And so the question from Kristen is, can anyone create groups and events, or can this be limited to organizational administrators?
You can limit it when you set up the group. I think by default we actually encourage to keep it open so that anybody in a group can create an event. But certainly at the community level, we limit it because we don't want just anybody creating events for the community. That would be limited to the admins only. But we can work with you if the way we set it up doesn't work. Just let us know.
Yeah. So one of the learnings I think is that this has been good in the particularly the US college system where student groups were self-organizing events for like study groups and things like that, which, you know, we've learned a lot with translating it across. Obviously, we've got a range of organizations with Tidy, which makes it ever more challenging. So, like Lynn said, please provide feedback and questions and thoughts around it all. But you can lock it down so administrators only can create those events within the platform
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, at the community level, it's very locked down. At the group level, I think by default it's open. Maybe Mark, if you're there, you can jump in and correct me. But
Yeah.
um,
The other thing to note here is that it's really got security first and foremost of mind and privacy first and foremost. So it's been a common piece of feedback, especially with people that have tried to wrestle with Facebook and WhatsApp and are really concerned about the privacy aspects or lack thereof from those platforms. And that's one of the main drivers, I'd say, of moving over to a platform like that because not everyone's on Facebook and WhatsApp anymore. Not like they used to be anyway. So it's a big consideration here where it's privacy first with it all.
Yes,
yeah,
and
Stephen
just
Millard, name of the app is just HeyConnect. I think if you do a search on your Google or Apple app stores.
Yeah,
You'll be able to
the
find
the
it.
website is HeyConnect.app.
HeyConnect.app.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to add, yeah, certainly anyone can create groups, but we'd be welcoming feedback if that's a restriction you want to apply. One of the key things, as Isaac was alluding to, is the idea that a lot of the data, all of the data in Hey actually feeds back into Tidy so that you have visibility of what groups are being created. But as Lynn mentioned, if you want additional controls, then please let us know.
That is Mark. That's the other side of the brain's trust at Hey, who looks after a lot of the
Thank you.
technical side, just for the introduction. Thanks, Mark, for jumping in there. Another quick question. Have you found it important to let people in a contact group drop out of a contact group before you link it? It's a privacy issue as the contact. Have you found it important to let people in a contact group drop out of a contact group before you link it? I suppose that's not a scenario I think that we've really gone into too much detail about. I suppose it's up to the administrators as to who's in the contact group before they're inviting them across and syncing things. So we sort of leave that with your organization to handle.
Yeah, you can certainly remove people from a group in Tidy, and then they won't appear in the group in Hey. So, and if you remove them from Hey, then they'll get removed in Tidy.
So we're syncing them across, Susan. So yeah, like Lynn said, you can remove people from a group if they're not meant to be there, or if they opt out, don't want to be there. You can definitely do that for them.
Yeah, that's really simple.
Yeah.
Great.
Any other questions?
No. Anything else from you, Lynn?
Yeah, let me just.
I've got a question, if I may speak.
Yeah, sure, Stephen.
Thanks.
So I'm from the Byron Hikers Club, and every week we have a hiking event with maybe a dozen people. And what's missing from our point of view is that people who buy a ticket on that can't see who else has bought a ticket. And that would be good if they could, because then they can decide their own carpooling, because it's always a different destination where we meet up. So will this solve that problem?
Do you sell tickets, or you just use ticketing because that's what Tidy has?
Well, we have free tickets for members and a $5 ticket for a guest.
Right. Okay.
So they have to book in on the event page of Tidy.
Yeah. So Tidy does paid events, and you can do ticketed free events as well. We don't do paid events in Hey, but all of the events from Tidy do get pushed over. But Mark, I'll have to defer to you. Do we actually display who's going in
Yes, we
Hey?
do. Yeah, I was hoping you were going to defer to me. Yeah, so it does actually. It's a really good point. We hadn't actually presented that in our demo, but yes, we do show the attendance on events. So that would be one of the benefits. When you click on the event in Tidy, you would actually be able to go into the event details and see all the people that have been invited.
Excellent.
And who's going, and the people that have said they're going.
Yep.
Great.
And there's been no mention of cost in this demonstration.
Oh, you're getting ahead, like that's coming.
Okay.
Save the best news to last.
Yeah. Okay. I will get to that. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Just a comment from Susan again. She's been using Hey for a week or so now. It's great. On a completely trivial note, when in chat, my fellow chatters miss the sad face emoticon. LOL. So it sounds like we've got one happy user at least. Good feedback.
Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, I'm just going to switch back to the presentation, which we're almost done with. So HeyConnect is mobile first. Engage people where they are. Single activity feed to keep everybody on the same page to everything that's going on across your club. Directory of all members. It's easy to add new members to a group or to an event or to the community with a link. There's a link, you can post it in social media, you can put it in a chat or email, whatever you want. There's also a QR code. So really, really easy to add new members. Allows you to get more organized by having these groups that you can see over here on the left. And again, groups can be private, where you select who's in it and nobody else can see the group, or it can be public to your club. Not public, just public to your club. So other club members can browse through and select to join those clubs. And you can turn on, if you want them to be approved to join a certain group, you can turn on the approval functionality. Otherwise, when they click join, they just join that group. It's easy to create non-ticketed events. And I should add here now that it's actually easy to track who's going, who's not going, even for a Tidy event. So that's great. No more excuses. Our notifications are completely customizable. You can set them up so that, and this is on a personal level, not a club level. I could choose to get notified every time there's a new event. Whatever, through SMS to Tidy. So you can see what the groups are, you can see who's in the groups, you can see the events, all of that stuff we sync. Well, actually, we don't sync events back to Tidy yet, but that is on the list right now. Events go from Tidy to Hey. Okay, so that was it. So questions. So I'll jump on the Stephen's question about pricing. So we currently have very aggressive pricing because we're very keen to get as many of you as possible using our app and giving us feedback. So right now it's free for up to 150 members. And then it's 29 members for up to 500 and 49 for up to 1,000. So that's pretty cheap as far as that goes. And again, we're just really keen to get as many of you trying it out, using it for your clubs. And, we're really looking for any feedback, all feedback actually, because we just want to continuously improve the app and working with Tidy to improve the integrations and really provide what you need to get your clubs more active and engaged.
$29 a week, a year, forever.
Oh, sorry, a month. 29 a month for up to 500. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And you'll find more on the pricing on the website as well, just to add some more clarity for you, Stephen. But like Lynn said, and Mark, very keen to work alongside some of Tidy customers. So please get in touch and talk with them about it further.
Yeah, and just to talk about ads, because I don't know if that's a question there, but everybody always asks about ads. So we currently have no ads. We are looking at ways that we can offset the costs of, all of our free tiers. So it is something we're considering, but I personally hate ads. So it'll probably come with the option to pay some money to opt out of ads. And I'm not sure when we'll shift there. I mean, another option is to move into kind of a shared sponsorship model or something. So we're brainstorming a couple of ideas right now because long term, our free tier is not sustainable. But right now we have no ads. And we'll never sell your data, so you do not have to worry about that.
There's a couple more questions from Kristen. It's so Isaak, you probably better answer this. I thought you do support non-member levels in Tidy.
Yes, just running over the question quickly. So we're looking at replacing Facebook groups, which is open to our organizational members and approved free users. We offer paid membership levels in Tidy. Could we offer a free non-member level in Tidy so we can add people to groups? So you can create, there's a bunch of ways that you could do this potentially. One is have a free membership level, which a lot of organizations do, particularly our Rotary clubs and groups like that, where it's effectively a free application membership or kicking the tires membership. And that could automatically drop into a contact group, which automatically drops into the HeyConnect application. And the other way is probably through events if you want to do it that way, where you do a membership drive and they buy a free ticket, and that automatically adds them to a contact group that then syncs into the Hey app. So there's a few different ways to wrestle that problem at the moment. But those sorts of curly ones are definitely things that Mark and Lynn and Tidy want to hear about, because yeah, that's a really good use case for us to wrestle with.
Also, just
Yeah.
to add, we provide links for both your community and groups through the app. So you can access the community or the group and copy the link and send it to people via email or text. When they join your community or group through Hey, we automatically add them into your Tidy contacts list with a user account. So and we also create a group so that you can actually see new members who have joined through the app. But as Isaak mentioned, open to feedback if there's any ways we can improve that. Um, there's a second question: will it move to laptop platform at any stage? The reason we selected Tidy is I think they provided a great desktop experience. So we're trying to make sure we keep this whole design quite elegant and simple. And all of the desktop features we're looking to work with Isaak and his team to make available where relevant in Tidy, and so that we can just focus on that mobile experience.
Yes, and maybe we'll see where it takes us, but hopefully we've got an interface there that we can sync up some messaging and
Yep.
what's happening in Hey over into your Tidy world, so it's nice and easy for you, Susan, if that makes sense. Right, back to you, Lynn.
All right, no more questions. Great. So just to wrap things up, the other way to, figure out how to connect Tidy to Hey, if you go to your Tidy org, on the left, you'll see apps, and there's an app store for those of you that might not be familiar with that. And you'll see us in the app store, HeyConnect. And if you click on that, it will give you the link and instructions to connect the two for your org. So that's pretty straightforward. Oops. And then if you want to learn more, just go to heyconnect.app. There's ability on there to schedule a meeting with us, to send us a message. And also, if you go to the help section, there's a getting started area that has a whole bunch of information and videos on how to connect Hey and Tidy. So, and the pricing is all there as well. So that's it. If nobody has any other questions, I just would like to thank everybody for joining. It was great. You had some great questions. It was really nice to meet everyone. And again, I really do encourage you to give our app a try. I would love to hear any and all feedback, and hope that together, we can work to get your communities more engaged, more active, and so you can generate more revenue, and just get people out of their houses, and reduce the loneliness that we have coming out of COVID, and just get people together in real life. It just feels really good.
Like it, Lynn. It's a good place to finish. Thank you very much for running through the demonstration. Thank you, Mark, for jumping in and going through some of the more technical bits and pieces. Really appreciate your time. Like Susan's dobbed you in as well, Lynn, for running great demonstrations. Hopefully you've got that out of this. If you're watching a recorded version, hopefully you've got that. Lynn is always open to hear more, so please get in touch with her. I'm sure she'll be commenting on our Facebook posts, and we'll also be sharing it within the Tidy application with an in-app message as well. So to answer your question, Michael, we'll be posting a recording of this webinar in our Facebook groups, and also in our Tidy application through an in-app message as well. So on that note, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate you dialing in. We'll be running a bunch more of these webinars over the coming months, both about third-party partners that we work with and alongside, as well as going into what Tidy does, and perhaps a bit of a refresh on various parts of our platform that you may not be utilizing just yet. So really excited to run more of these. And we are also very keen to hear feedback about both Hey, but also the platform and anything else you want to hear about. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.